Let's be real for a second. Forget about those one-in-a-million lucky hands you see in movies. Forget about the flashy million-dollar pots. Today, we're going deep. We're going to look inside the minds of poker's absolute elite to see what really makes them tick. We're talking about the mental toughness, the relentless discipline, and the hidden strategies that separate the true legends from everybody else. This isn't about the cards you get dealt. It's about how you play the entire game.
So you gotta ask yourself, what is that secret sauce? What's that X factor that takes a player from being just good to being genuinely legendary? That's the big question we're tackling today, and honestly, the answer might just change how you see the game forever. And here's the thing, it's not the cards. It's a powerful mix of skill, serious mental fortitude, and a disciplined approach that goes way beyond the poker table. We're talking about a complete and total mindset.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll break down the core traits of a pro. Then, we'll talk about the pitfalls that trip up almost every player. After that, we'll get into the real strategies of the greats. And finally, we'll see that huge transformation from amateur to pro.
First up, the mentor's code. You see, success in poker isn't some kind of magic. It's actually built on a really specific set of foundational traits. It's a mental framework that you can absolutely learn and master. Let's kick things off with a huge one, emotional control. Think about it. A massive win can make you feel like you're on top of the world, invincible, and that can lead to some really reckless plays. On the flip side, a soul-crushing bad beat can send you on tilt, making you desperate. A pro, they stay steady through all of it, making sure every single decision is driven by cold, hard logic, not a rush of emotion.
And going hand in hand with emotional control is discipline. You can think of this as the engine that drives everything. It's that unwavering commitment to your game plan, even when your gut is screaming at you to make that flashy, high-risk play. This, right here, is what separates the weekend hobbyist from the career professional.
But look, emotional control and discipline are just two pieces of the puzzle. You've also got to have adaptability to read the table and switch things up. You need the patience to wait for that perfect spot. A relentless hunger for continuous learning is a must. And of course, the self-awareness to know your own triggers and blind spots. All of these together, that's the bedrock of a pro.
But even with the perfect mindset, the path to becoming a poker pro is absolutely littered with landmines. So let's get into our next section, the trials. Because no matter how skilled you are, the road to success is paved with these universal challenges that can derail even the most promising players.
So let's get real. What are these obstacles we're talking about? If you've played any amount of poker, I'm willing to bet you've felt the sting of these. And you know what? Just recognizing them is the first huge step to conquering them. And here they are. The mental exhaustion from making hundreds of tough calls a day. That's decision fatigue. The unique pressure cooker environment of online poker. The very real lifestyle risks, like burnout or feeling isolated. And of course, that ever-present crushing weight of pressure to perform. These aren't just little annoyances, they are formidable opponents you have to face. This quote just nails the professional mindset you need to face those trials. See, an amateur sees a loss and all they feel is frustration. But a professional, they see that same loss and they find a valuable lesson inside it. It's a huge shift from being a slave to the outcome to becoming a master of the process.
Which brings us to the revelation. Now that we've laid out the challenges, let's unlock the solutions. These are the real, actionable strategies and habits that the top players use to not just survive the trials, but to actually thrive because of them.
And this right here is the pro's playbook. It's about meticulously analyzing every single game to find patterns. It's about actively working to maintain that emotional balance we talked about. It's setting crystal clear goals. But notice what else is on there. A commitment to always be learning. And this is a big one, prioritizing physical fitness. Because a sharp mind really does require a healthy body.
And that is the formula. It's not about some overnight miracle. Success is a long-term journey, plain and simple. It's about taking your passion for the game and combining it with the persistence to just show up, do the work, and keep getting better, day in and day out.
So all of this leads us to the final stage, the transformation. This is where we put it all together and see the stark, undeniable difference between the amateur and the professional approach. This is the big mindset shift that changes absolutely everything. Okay, take a good look at this table, because this is the absolute heart of it all. Where an amateur is a slave to their impulses, a pro is a master of strategy. Where an amateur's learning is random and reactive, a pro's is a relentless, proactive hunt for knowledge. The amateur is chained to the short-term result of a single hand. The pro is focused on the long-term process of mastery. And finally, when the pressure hits, the amateur crumbles, while the pro has a whole arsenal of battle-tested coping strategies ready to go.
So, what are the key things you should walk away with today? First, patience pays off. Mastery is built over time. Second, resilience is key. Setbacks are going to happen, they're just part of the process. Third, and this is so important, mind over matter. Mental discipline will always beat raw talent in the long run. And finally, the learning never ever stops. Every game is a lesson.
So we've laid out the entire roadmap. You've seen the traits, the trials, and the strategies of the legends. The path from amateur to pro is all about your mindset, not just the cards you're holding. The blueprint for success is right here. The only question left is, what's your next move?
Start a live chat now to join one of our clubs or ask us any questions. Message at bluffingmonkeys24_7 on Telegram or visit bluffingmonkeys.com and start a live chat.